pause, silence. Let's reconvene in person again, to reconnect, to tell our stories, to listen, to disarm ourselves of preconceived notions, to reframe, to reflect, to unplug. Welcome to #Unplugged22. Take a victory lap. High five a friend. This is your moment, our moment. Together, we unplug to connect again and remember why we started. Let's evaluate our community and our digital impact with quality conversations rooted in context. We are about real connections that translate into real-life action. Brought to you by JamLab Africa and the Civic Tech Innovation Network.
Good morning, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Civic Tech Innovation Forum. My name is Yasmin Shabaji, and I'm a research assistant with the Civic Tech Innovation Network. Today's session will be focused on a demonstration, a workshop, and I'd like to introduce you to Dr. Bright Gameli Mawudo, who is a well-renowned cybersecurity specialist. Dr. Mawudo is the head of Managed Security Services at Internet Solutions and Dimension Data, and has more than 13 years of professional experience, and is the founder and director of Africa HackOn. And in this workshop, he will be demonstrating certain platforms, and we hope that you will be encouraged to ask any questions. We have a question and answer function on the right of your screen. And just to take you through some housekeeping rules, all attendees will be on mute, but they are encouraged to use the Q&A function, as I mentioned before, and we hope that this is going to be a participatory and engaging session. And if you have any questions or comments, you can leave them in the general chat box. So this is the session. It's entitled Digital Threats, Hacking for Mitigation, and it will start just shortly, and it will continue to 4 o'clock today. And later, we encourage, what's happening parallel to these are these 4 sessions. And then later on today, we have the exhibition hangout, which is between 4 o'clock and 6 o'clock. So I welcome you all, and I'm going to hand over to Dr. Bright. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Yasmin, and welcome everybody. I'm just going to share my screen right now so that we can all see. Could you confirm if you can see my screen, Yasmin?
Yes, we can. Thanks.
Okay, so this is great. So we're going to go for the next 2 hours or less or more. Okay, maybe the less rather than more. Just talk about cybersecurity, hacking, what is happening in this world of hacking. We're going to be doing a lot of live demonstration. Some live, some pre-recorded for you to just appreciate exactly what goes on in the cybersecurity space. So yeah, just a little bit of correction there, Yasmin. I left Dimension Data a while back. So I introduced myself to be somebody who's done a lot of work with Cyber Africa HackOn, trying to change the space. Some statistics that we have been seeing, and I think everybody needs to be able to actually have privy to this, is that attacks are changing. Almost every now and then, the biggest trend that we see right now, which is affecting businesses, is to do with phishing attacks. And phishing basically means that people are sending you emails that look so real or they're so convincing that you will actually fall for it and be able to click on something. The most popular being what you call business email compromise, which we'll go a little bit deeper into that later. It's affecting businesses a lot, and people are losing thousands of dollars and sending money to the wrong bank account or or basically clicking on links and their computers have been encrypted, where ransomware is happening, where your so this I'll just give it just statistics that I got for Kenya, but everywhere it's happening. Businesses are trying to move to crypto, very big space, but there's a lot of hacking that is going on in there as well. And the biggest we've seen is the crypto.com. We've seen an 18-year-old hacker who actually social engineered or found a way to be able to convince somebody at Uber to give out their password or details. And this has been something which is really affecting a lot of people. No one ever thinks to be a victim of a cyber attack until it happens to them. That is when they start thinking of the mitigation strategies to put in place. That's why they start thinking about exactly how can they secure themselves. So I'm going to take this workshop in two fronts, where we're looking at how do you call it, things that have to do with a bit of technical, actually technical for your personal lifestyle and also for business aspect of things. So there's something we call threat modeling, which is basically a process of which you can actually identify potential threats, see exactly how vulnerable you are, how do you identify them, how do you find a ways to be able to mitigate vulnerabilities or threats that one of places that you're vulnerable to, and how those threats can actually hit you, so that you know exactly what are you protecting. Are you protecting databases that you have? Are you protect the CFO's laptop? Is it the most important thing? You need to be able to actually try those out and see which is the easiest way. So the purpose of this is just to provide cyber defenders with a very systematic analysis of what controls or defenses to put in place to stop hackers from being able to penetrate. So when you're doing threat modeling, you're asking questions like, where am I most vulnerable to attack? What are the most relevant threats? And what do I need to do to safeguard against these threats? This what the diagram you see on the left is just how do you call it? A generic, which is non-technical for you to understand what threat modeling is. So sometimes you're looking at hacking into accounts, publicizing public information on the internet, spear phishing attempts. The likelihood of that attack and the severity has to be put into context for you to be able to understand what you need to do for threat modeling. So every kind of business or anybody who will have details when it comes to risk and then the impacts. We are at risk when it comes to access to client lists, customer credit handling for credit information, companies' banking details, pricing structure. If you have somebody that you're competing against and you have a price, your prices will the changing in the details of your pricing will be the determinant of how your business stands or closes the next few months. They need to be able to actually protect that. How do you make sure that somebody in the organization is not leaking out your data or your details about exactly how you're pricing or what prices is about to change, but for your goods and services? Your product design. If you design something, you sat down, you thought about it, and you said, "Hey, this is the very best way we're gonna design this application and incorporate a few tools here and there." If somebody still steals that product design, they will be able to actually do it faster than you, possibly cheaper and faster with a different strategic team or coding team or something like that. Your expansion plans, manufacturing processes. So I'm looking at these risks in various industries, and that's what is happening to us. So the impact will be financial losses, disruption of business, high cost to radio network of threats, and damage to your reputation as well, which happens a lot. This is one of the easiest ways hackers are trying to infiltrate networks these days. Networks, systems, organizations, your lives. And we're going to see some of those live examples. So we'll find out how to be able to do a few hacking here and there. Business email compromise, BEC, as they call it. The first step is a hacker tries to identify a target. A target could be an organization, could be a person, could be people who are actually part of an organization. Then they start to groom them by trying to do a lot of open source intelligence. We're going to see some of those today to see how do hackers use basic search engine details to find out details about you on the internet, find out how easily it is that your systems could be compromised, or find out what message can they send to you that you're going to open that email. Then you see exchanging of information on email. They'll say, for example, the easiest is usually a target to CFOs who have to do CFO or people in sales or even HR. Sales and the CFO could or sales could be the fact that you're doing or invoice and they say, hey, or not sales, finance team. What they say is that these are details from the sales team saying you need to pay an amount of money to somebody at a particular time, and you basically are convincing them to be able to give you that money for, I mean, to pay to a particular bank account. So most of the time, a BEC attack, they change details of bank account details. You're paying to the wrong place, and then you wire transfer to them. So, again, looking at the general statistics when it comes to BEC is phishing attacks, compromised devices, and credential theft. It's easy to be able to get those details out, which leads to an entire compromise of your network or organization. What are some of the red flags to look out for when you're looking for BC attacks? Most of the time, hackers are in a hurry. They're also nervous when they're doing this thing, so they have a lot of poor spelling mistakes or grammatical errors. There's always a sense of urgency to make an immediate payment. There's unexpected bank account change, or they mark things like secret or confidential. Um, there's also this the request usually come from a slightly different email address. So sometimes they make the change and they make it look like so if your email is hackforhire.com or .co.za, they'll register another domain that looks just like it, hack for hire, but the hire, which is HIRE, will be H1RE. So we are getting to a place where we stop thinking. From this presentation, I think by the time we leave, you have to start thinking about cyber resilience and not cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is to be able to know three elements. How do you protect yourself? How do you detect? How do you respond to attacks? Cyber resilience is being able to identify some of these attacks before they happen, knowing your asset details, your business environment, and your risk assessment before you even know how to recover. If you don't identify and recover very easily, you basically are going to be susceptible to being able to be compromised, and it's not a thing that you want to look out for. You're facing an ecosystem of hackers, and you basically need to know that you need to find a way to be able to. You're not dealing with basic hackers anymore. You're basically looking at people who understand details about your network. They understand. They have lawyers who understand your details. They have finance people who understand how basically details work in the company. Um, they have people who know how to cash out. They know people who understand infrastructure, security, and the likes. So they basically have to find a way to know how to get things out of your company. So there's one fact: you will be hacked someday. It's just a matter of when. So if you think you've never been hacked before and there's a chat room which is on this and you want to be hacked, please drop your email. Let's try to see if we can actually test with you. In fact, I'm actually looking for a sample email. So anybody can drop their Gmail or something like that in the chat box where the question and answers are. Just want to show you exactly, not to hack you, but to, to demonstrate how hackers can use your email to do certain kind of things. So we have to start thinking about how to be proactive rather than being reactive. And hacking goes way beyond just the whole thing about using softwares or hacking on the internet. There's also the hardware hacking. All these tools that you're seeing here, I own every single one of them. I have them with me, which I use. On the left is Hack 5 Kit has a tool that can be able to have this small flash drive here being plugged into your laptop. Basically gets to type anything on your laptop within a very short time and allows me to be able to actually send commands to your computer. For example, stop your internet connection, give you another connect to a different hotspot which I've created, which is insecure. Download a malware from my other phone, which is next to you, but you can't see it, and take it to your laptop, and run it, and give me complete access to your laptop remotely forever. No matter how many times you restart the computer, you might be compromised. Wi-Fi Pineapple can hack wireless networks, so you can be on one Wi-Fi call, bright presentation. One, you can actually disconnect you from that Wi-Fi, give you a fake one for you to connect to. Then this is the D author. It's just a simple watch which can take any wireless network which is around and be able to shut you down from this wireless network and create fake ones for you. Crazy Radio does a very similar thing like the flash drive, but this intercept traffic between your mouse and your mouse and the laptop, or wireless keyboard, wireless mouse, and let somebody remotely who is not too far from you type commands on your computer without you noticing. Then we have USB Ninja. people come to you in a coffee shop, ask you to plug in a charger for them to actually just charge their phone. And when you give them such cables, which is a normal cable, the phone will actually charge. You basically can type anything on your computer or activate anything as you as an administrator on that computer. So I'm just going to take you through a series of exactly what happens in the hacking world, and let's see some of the ways that hackers get to hack you or compromise you, and what are the ways for you to be able to protect yourself from it. So the first thing, I have a few notes that I've taken down so that I can make my work easier. Um, the first thing any hacker will do is to find out details about a particular person, where they are, where they live. I don't know, Yasmin, I don't know if the chat room is open for people to give suggestions once in a while.
Yeah, they can give suggestions,
Okay.
and I'm happy to also participate.
Okay. So first thing I want to start with is basically for example, Africa. So when somebody takes a company like the net bank, they just want to find out details such as what services do they have. You're not hacking them. You're only finding details about them. You want to find out details on maps, where they are, location details. Reason why I'm looking for maps is because Google actually gives a lot of information, and I'll show you about people in a particular area. So, or the most popular places that you can go to. But hackers use the internet for a lot of details. If I put, say, site ZA file type doc and I say confidential, this basically says I want to search every .za website, any Microsoft Word document that has the word confidential in it, you want to see it. So this gives you a specific results, 3,000 results, 3,700 results, which makes it very specific. You can write confidential government, also government, for example, and you get specific details. If you want the two words to be together, confidential and government being together, you can actually get to specify that there's none there. So you basically can do almost anything or search for the right details if you have the right keyword. If you search something like this, say ZA, every .ZA website, any extension of a file which is .txt, which has the word password in it, you'll be shocked that people actually have passwords just lying on their website. So honeynet mirror dot ac.za, I don't know who that is. You, does it show that? You can see the old version of it. Can show you details of people who have left passwords on their servers for allowing you to be able to actually log into them. So this person made a mistake and left a VPN password there. You're not hacking. You're basically, this is a secret password and VPN server. So this anybody can log in. I'm even shocked it's still running by now, because by now somebody could have actually logged into this server and done anything onto it. So this is just basics of some of the things you can do. If I was to put, say, I'm looking for all text files, anything that is at .za, which has password and username, you'll see a lot of people have servers or details. This is a whole server that or databases that is there, and people's details that have been leaked before in the past. Or you could say you want to search the whole internet, anything that is at Hotmail, at Yahoo, at Gmail, and has a combination of account and password and Netflix, and most because somebody has hacked others before. Hackers usually leave things in text file if they've hacked a username or password, and you're looking for 2020 or 2021 even. You basically have seen people who have been compromised in the past and their passwords for their Netflix accounts. So again, whatever you do with this is usually that's your problem. But this is not hacking somebody. This is information that has been leaked, and you can basically see accounts for people's Netflix, which is being leaked out there. So the problem with such a thing is there's a very high chance these people have repeated the same password everywhere they go. So that's why some people get to be compromised so easily. Is the reason why if there's a database leak or a company has been hacked out there, and you know that they have been hacked, you need to change your password. If you go to have I been pwned. And Have I Been Pwned is a website you can go to check to see if your account has been ever compromised anywhere. You see your account has been compromised there, you basically have to make sure you change your password. So I like to usually go to this website. I put brightzed@gmail.com. That is my email. And I check to see, yep, I know the three places that my account has been hacked before, sometime in 2019 on that website. I didn't even know my account was part of this. um, LinkedIn, sometime back in 2016, was hacked. Jobs and Talent in 2018 was hacked. Lumen PDF, MySpace, Nitro PDF, uh, and so all of those places, my account has been compromised, or my email is there, meaning somebody has the password I used those days. So it's really good or really important for you to be able to change such passwords. Now, wait. Those are just basics of a few searches that you can actually use. So may I just borrow? Okay, I don't know. I think I'll just use NetBank again. Um, I'm not hacking NetBank. I'm only trying to see how easy it is. Google can actually help you to find out details about a particular company. Could I get a sample company in South Africa?
Let's go with, let me think.
We're shopping, maybe ShopRite.
Yeah, Checkers. Yeah, Checkers is a quite.
Okay.
It's part
Or
of Shoprite.
ShopRite,
It's part
for
of Checkers.
example.
Yeah.
Checkers, ShopRite. I know ShopRite is really big, and ShopRite. So you when you type something like this, saying you want to search on LinkedIn, anyone who says the word at ShopRite and have the word current, so current at ShopRite, you want to search that. You're basically looking at people's details or names of them. So this is again not confidential. This is just basically going to profile a company and find out exactly who works there and what is their position. So if I see a name like Luke Van White, I'm not going to target his company because I don't want to. I mean, I know he's an IT manager, so he basically will be the person to be able to identify any kind of phishing attack before it even happens. So that is just basics of being able to get details about such people. But this is just Google. There are other search engines that are quite powerful that can allow you to compromise systems. One of them is called Shodan. Shodan is a publicly available tool. Anybody can register an account there. Anybody can get details on Shodan. Shodan allows you to be able to view certain things that are very interesting. Now we have IoT devices. We have Internet of Things, that is, where you have assets that are on the online industrial control systems, baby monitors, cameras that are IoT devices. What else? We have water sprinklers, gates are online. When I visited South Africa some time back, a lot of places in what is it called? A lot of this, so many places where your gate is automated, right? So you basically can open your gate, but it is online. It's connected to, some of them are connected to the internet, so you can open the gate for somebody remotely. Now, Shodan allows you to be able to find some of those systems. But one important part is that you can find servers that people have shared online to actually see if those are actually popularly, I mean, if they're actually available. I'll give you a typical example. We have ERPs that are actually online. People have systems that they're sharing folders and their drives online to their colleagues because of a network that they have actually activated. Especially during COVID-19, that was happening. A lot of people decided to put their systems online because they want easy collaboration, but they're forgetting that the server that they use to share is actually not secure, or they have actually sent um, how do you call it, vulnerable systems, but they did not secure the network to be only visible to their colleagues who are at home. So I want to show you exactly how easily it is some of this can be compromised. So we're not going to do anything bad. Let me show you the first one. So if I was looking for any system that is MySQL and in the country South Africa, you basically will be able to see systems. Okay. bit slow. Hope this doesn't get too slow. All right. So this is a fourth in Johannesburg alone. You can find all of these servers are on MySQL or MariaDB. You basically you find out basically if some of them are vulnerable or anything. I'm not going to touch any of them. You can actually see the kind of people who have cameras that are publicly available, and if you can actually view those cameras, because some of them I see quite a lot of cameras in South Africa that gets to be open. So these cameras, but I think I've reported quite a number of them, so they've reduced. But this is people's homes. I don't know whose house this is, why it's dark. But this are someone. This might be a screenshot. 2022-09-19. That's it was a month ago. But you can actually, if I was to click on it and go in there, it might show me the real live camera right now that is available. You can see um, other camera types. I was looking around for Hikvision because I realized a lot of cameras that are popular in South Africa are Hikvision. So if somebody was to do a state-sponsored kind of hacking and they want to target South Africa, they'll be looking at this particular camera type to be able to exploit. This is how hackers work. This is how they think. They come to look at such places for vulnerable camera systems, databases. The one which actually gets to shock me a lot more is when you put say authentication disabled, disabled. I want to run it on port 445 in the country. So I'm looking for servers or systems that have port 445 is for sharing, and they have authentication disabled, meaning they don't have any password to it in the country South Africa. So I'll pick a random one like this. So this target here, or this person, I don't know who is a data keepers or the ones who are keeping the servers. They have quite a number of files, folders, accounts. There's bin, there's lindage, I don't know. So I'll pick this IP address. Um, Let me see if I can try to log in. So I use a tool called Smb Client. It's it's open source, and I want to log in into accounts. See if it will work. I'm not too sure. Password is no password, and it goes through. So basically, oh, it doesn't give me access. So I can go on. I'll look for another one and see if that will work. Oh, if you see some of them being printer and the likes, it's because printers are also acting like a computer. They have something which can allow you to they have a network. That's one that's denied. Let's see if they get lucky. So printers basically can actually be the reason why you get hacked.
Can I ask, are those like smart printers
Yeah, smart
or
printers because they have an IP
covering?
address.
Mm-hmm.
They basically. Let me see if I can get into this. Yeah. So this one has gone through, but there's no file. It's boring. Anyway, so that's basically how easily it is that, and it even tells you. So this is how basically some people get to be compromised or ransomwares are getting to networks when nobody even brought in a flash drive or anything. So we need to be able to basically search ourselves and find out how easily. So this is quite a lot of companies. So if you look at this number here, 240, 131. If somebody was to start hitting South African companies right now, they'll have quite a number. They'll have quite a field day. So
I think we've lost you. Are you able to hear me?
Can you hear me now? Hello, Yasmin. Hello.
Sorry, we had some internet complications.
Yeah, it went off for a bit. What was
Yeah.
the last? What was the last part you heard me?
You were just saying that South African companies are likely very at risk, and that's where it stopped. And then you were about to demonstrate something else.
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
great. So I was looking for an email address if anybody could share a sample Gmail account in the chat room. If you could share yours or anyone, a Gmail account will do.
It's just for demonstration.
Yeah, just for demonstration.
Okay, I'll share mine. Let me share my Gmail account. Okay, let me just share it. It's fine.
Yeah.
I've shared it in the Q&A.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
All right. So I want to just show you basically exactly what happens in when people are trying to compromise emails. So if we're in a room right now, I can see that, but um, how do you call it? 30, 40 people in a room. If I want to pass a bottle of water from one person to the other, basically, um, it will be easy for me to just pass it on. And if you see um, the way I've passed the bottle to one person or the other, somebody will mimic the same thing. So email hacking is basically a similar thing. So let me just. So I wrote a little script to be able to mimic the way Gmail sends emails. So I'll put your email, Yasmin, and I'll send it to myself. I can send it to Bright. Oh, sorry. Um, I can send it to bright.gamely at africahackon.com. And subject could be live hacking. Welcome to the demo, and this is live. So if I should, so in this, let's see, great. So let's check my email. Let's see, where's my? right. So here it is. This email came through with your picture, and you didn't even send that email.
Phishing.
Yeah. So I basically use SendGrid as an email server, and you won't see this in your outbox until I reply to you like, got the details. Thank you. You can confirm in the next 10 seconds if you got it.
Okay.
Has it
Yes,
come through?
yes.
Yeah. So that's basically how easily it is. So now imagine if this came from your CEO or your head of finance or somebody making it look like it's actually real. You are basically going to respond to it because it looks so real. And this is a basic one. If I was to do this in a very popular manner and in a better manner, I'll be able to actually mask out the details and show you that. So I'm going to do a little bit of a next experiment, which is um, I have something called a browser exploitation framework, which is basically a way hackers are using to hook you up to their networks. So right now, there's nobody online. So I will basically put this to the side as an attacker machine, and then have this one as the victim, right? So I created a website which is that. So basically, oh, let me see. I think the server is off. A second. Oh, it is working. So I'm not too sure why it's not. All right. So on the left is basically the hacker machine, and on the right is the victim. So the victim goes to this website, tries to view the content of the website, and even when it views the page source, it's a little bit encrypted. That would take a few moments of somebody who is skillful to be able to view the details. So when the hacker is there, the hacker basically has access to the person's browser and can do anything by redirecting or even getting to know the browser history, getting the cookies. And those cookies are the ones they actually use to compromise you further. So I will do a simple demo here, nothing complicated, to show exactly what happens in that. Uh, wait. So it shows the browser details and everything. What is happening today?
Lots of technical difficulties, but
Yeah, I basically wanted to just redirect the browser to see, to show you commands. This has never happened before because we have all the details of the computer, the browser type. Okay. Oh, anyway, but basically,
so
what it does is to be able to redirect or force this website, this browser to go somewhere else, or to force a pop up, which is fake, and just give access to the computer. So, those are just some of the ways. So, other means of hackers trying to get to compromise you is to um, well, Seeker. Need some of this might happen, so I had to get backup. All right. So the easiest way is to give Google Drive links. So I'll choose Google Drive. Let me use an actual drive. So let me take this one and go to Drive. I want to pick something that is real and is working. So I can take, say, shell, or is it pictures? Let me see, something that has pictures. Huh. Let's say materials, training materials, right? So take that one. So we can see the content is training materials, the zip. And when I say to share, get a link that is shareable. Anyone can even be an editor for this group, right? I'll put an actual drive link here, and it starts a server. So what this does is create a temporary server that can be used, and I'll copy this. Since we use Explorer for that, let's use Firefox for this. So the hacker will go to this. It looks like a Google Drive link. It even tells you to get access. And I'm so sure majority of you have seen this before, where it tells you to request access. When you click on request access, you can see it's telling you to access location. But for the fact that the email has been something juicy, it looks like it came from the right person. What you do is to say click on allow. So when you click on allow, it actually shows you the real drive folder and the real content, which is what? Training materials. But in the background, the hacker has access to your location details, where you are, what you do, which kind of network you're part of, and GPS location, latitude, longitude, of the nearest base transmission station for you to be able to use. So this is one way of um, of getting to actually to compromise you. I'll cancel this. So another way is they take pages that already exist. For this one, I would take like Microsoft is a local host. Again, this looks very believable sometimes. And when a hacker goes, when they send it to a page like that, gives you a page that looks just like the normal page login, and you put in, say, bright.brightzed at gmail.com. Password is hack me. Let me say hack me 199999111 or something. You don't want to save it. It takes you to a real page for you to be able to see if you can recover your account. And what happens there in the background is that the hacker has collected your details. So these are just simple phishing pages that happen every now and then, and hackers keep on using the same thing to actually compromise you all the time. So I find it like it's these are the easiest hacking methods that are out there. If they want to collect information about you one way or the other, they've actually collect details about your name or a social media profile. They want to find out other pages that exist. There's a lot of open source intelligence. So I'm going to take a very simple tool called PW Location. How can I get a place that is very popular in South Africa where a lot of people go to? What's that? There's a mall called what's it called?
Well, there's the, I was going to say Santon City. It's
Great. So let's say Santon City. So if I pick Santon City and go to the maps, oh, I've spelled it wrong, but I think it takes me to the right place. So there are open source intelligence tools to find out who tweets around that area, who does something in that area. I'm looking for the latitude. So I can pick the latitude from here and pick the longitude from here. And so within a kilometer radius, I want 100 results of people who have been tweeting around that area. So It gives you um no, this is another one. That's a wrong how to call it GPS location. It's picking something from my area. But if
Yeah.
I was to pick one of these people, for example, I want to see this DJ Tattoo Main or whoever it is, and I want to find out details about him, any other profile that ever exists. That again, open source tools are out there allowing people to get information about you. One, two, recon.
Are there any specific what could I call this? Like, are there any specific things that hackers are looking for that make people easy targets? I'm
Yeah,
just
they're looking
thinking
for yeah,
other
they're looking
people.
for places, for people with repeated details. They're looking for names. They're looking for email addresses. They're looking for the easiest targets.
Mm,
Like this, and I'll give a list of some of those tools and the links for people to try out later.
okay.
But just basically, I just want to find out does this person have a Fiverr account and has an API registered in his name for Minecraft. He has a Mixcloud account. So I want to profile him. Facebook. So this is just a random account that details we've picked up. And information can be used against you by getting the more information I get about the target, the easier the hack. So hackers keep on basically looking for all of those details to see how they can use that to compromise you. So after they pick up such information, they pick up all the details, they head over to see now how can they compromise your account. So let me just take to show you how they work. I recorded this because sometimes this takes a bit of a time. So on the left is the attacker computer, on the right is the victim. And the victim has an email. The way I spoof your email, it has been to a Gmail account. Is Brightzed has sent an email to somebody which says approval document. And if you can
Mhm.
see, this is it's called blank, and the blank account is a .rar, which is zip file. The reason I did that is because hackers usually send you zip files which are password protected to avoid the Gmail or any email system scanning the file before how to call it before sending or when it comes to you. So I basically downloaded the file as a zip file which is password protected. And if you want to extract it to the desktop, which is on the left here, you have to put a password. So password is called blank, just to show you. And if you extract it, you can see it has extracted an Excel sheet called blank on the left side here. So the hacker machine has something called a listener or command and control, is waiting for connection from the target. So the target opens that Excel sheet, and most of the time you're going to see things like calculations or salary review to do some content details. And once you click on that, say enable content, it generates the macros that are in the background, which a lot of people are using, is going to give access to the hacker. So here, the hacker has downloaded three files, making it very difficult for anti-malware solutions to detect. It's an HTML file and a PowerShell file, which nobody ever used on their computer, but they still have it, and an executable file. This is a new way of hacking. We call it a fileless malware. Reason because we don't want anybody to. We want the malware to run without any detection. So we call it fileless. It's a technique. And if the person is technical, if he wants to go see the macro, there's no detail there. You can't actually access it because it's password protected. But what can this person do? This hacker can now have access to your entire network, your entire system, can laterally move through the entire system, your VPN, uh, can download files, can plant files, can activate your mic in the background, the camera, name it. Anything can be done. So with this, I did a sample just to show hello hacked as a pop-up on the screen. And it just shows you that's just an example of the person has taken over that laptop just to show an error message. So this is just an example of basics of what hackers are doing to be able to compromise you. And there are so many other ways when it comes to open source intelligence, and I'll leave some of those down there in this presentation, which will be shared with everybody to be able to try out. Whoa, one simple one that I like a lot is something we call map. So if you go to map.snapchat.com, like the information is out there, we just have to know how to get to use them. So I can browse the map. I can put Sunturn City. It's pretty slow. But anybody who is online right now, if you go to that, it basically shows you people who are on Snapchat right now. And you can actually see their videos that they're posting. And some of them are publicly shared, so you don't need to how to call it, you don't need access to their account to be able to view their content. Uh, this is weird. It's supposed to show a blinking area for you to know which one to click. Okay, the internet has a problem right now, but try it out wherever you are. You can try it out. So some of the details you have to look for when it comes to email hacking or email spoofing, you see, this is John Smith, but if you look at the details here, the domain is A1TN. But the right domain is ALTN. So the hackers they register some of those fake accounts for you to be able to make it look like it's a real one, and they register. These days, what I've been seeing is people can register the same details as you, but they put it .tk. The TK website has been free for a very long time. It's a free domain registration site, and I've been using this for the past 15 years. So people register domains here for free, and it has become an attack vector, and it cannot be shut down anytime soon. So those are some of the indicators you'll be seeing on in your emails when they come. So just to do a little bit of, Yasmin, since you are here, what do you think are some of the details that look fake to you? Let's ignore your fake company details or your boss. If you read this email right now, what do you think will actually prompt you to know this is probably not real from your boss?
Basically, probably the way the person is writing, like the style of writing,
Yeah,
and also maybe the fact that it says important and then it says today. So that urgency thing that you raised earlier,
exactly.
which I've also picked up when I've received spam or certain things that seem suspicious in my inbox.
Yeah,
Um, an interesting story that I can actually reflect is about 10 years ago, my dad was a victim of, I think it was a scam. It was an internet. One of our relatives overseas travels a lot. She travels. She used to travel almost every few months,
yeah,
and her account was compromised, and we didn't notice. And then she said her passport was lost, and she needed urgently to transfer the money.
yeah,
And my dad actually paid the money. And in hindsight, I forgot that this relative of ours actually used to type in big capital letters. And the person who hacked her account didn't actually notice it, or didn't, I don't know, they didn't know that she used to always type in all caps. So that's the reason why we actually realized in hindsight that this was a scam, especially when they asked for more money from my dad. So that's just something I can
yeah,
remember. When something seems wrong, it's usually not. Um, if someone says you need to do things urgently, and it seems like it's a bit strange, you need to be cautious about it.
yeah. Thank you so much for that. It's basically a thing that has been going on, and a lot of people, it's actually becoming really common, and people are falling for it. It's so nice and easy. Yeah, if you look at this one here, also it says check spam filter in case it accidentally blocked. So they could have sent another email, a follow-up email, which could be having a malicious content, but it's in the spam folder with attachments. And then it says what today, putting things in
Mm-hmm.
capital, fund transfer done today. It's just a way to hack the human brain and make the person feel like it's a matter of urgency. So there's quite a number of email security products that are out there people can actually use to check or to implement. Um, you basically all I can advise is before you actually settle on anyone, do a very good POC with them before you choose. Some of the safety tips to go over is that your strongest password actually is actually a password that has which is a phrase. If we do, let's hope everything works out. How strong is my password? We see if we go to the password meter, let's go to type a password, say password, and see wow, how long will it take the slowest computer to actually crack it, to take that instantly. If I was to put password 123 and copy that, this will take 1 month for the slowest computer to actually take to crack that. But look at it. If I put a space in between the two, password and put a space 123, it takes 600 years. So that space is actually a very crucial part of a password policy for people. Why? Because most hacking tools don't see the space as a character. It's like a blank kind of thing. They don't see it as a character. So it makes it very easy. It makes it difficult for somebody to actually crack passwords that fast when they are how do you call it, try to crack your password or brute force your password. So a phrase is really good. You have change your password every 90 days. Use a password manager. There's password, there's Dashlane, there's one password, there's another one called Bitwarden, which is also very common. But general rule of thumb when it comes to email security is that make sure you have two-step verification. A two-step verification is basically getting allowing you to have a code sent to you before you can actually log in. So if anybody steals your password, really, they will not be able to actually get into it. Then we have Google backup codes, which looks like this. Many people don't ever have those backup codes saved or copied, and it's available for almost every social media. Please have your backup code saved somewhere. So, if in case your phone has been hacked or tapped into, or any other way that the code is coming to them before you can actually use a backup code to get back into your computer. And I use LastPass, which is here, and basically LastPass or Bitwarden. It's available as well. Equally as good, it's open source. But I usually tell people anything that is free or freemium parts of things, you are the product. But a lot of things are free anyway. So be careful at which one you have to use, and you basically can actually just try them out. But Bitwarden and LastPass is really good. Don't use information that can easily be found about you online, and sharing password is not good. Uh, this might be taken very lightly, thinking that we don't do it, but we do it a lot. Saying your colleagues, telling them, "I'm not available right now. Can you just log in and activate for me, or can you log in and approve this document or stuff for me? I'll change the password later." You're not going to change your password. You're going to use the same password over and over again. I believe more than half of the people here have used the same password in more than 6 or 7 places online. National ID, date of birth, and personal details should not be shared in passwords. Wireless hotspots, please don't. If you're going to transact anything that is very confidential on a hotspot or in a coffee shop, rather use your VPN if you have one. I use ExpressVPN, but there are so many other VPNs that you can use out there. I use this personally because I've used it for a very long time. I pay for it yearly, and it just works for me. Or you can or you can hotspot your phone as a way to be able to get you can hotspot your phone to use to to get the things done. So avoid using public computers, even at your friends. Download legitimate applications. Use HTTPS website. And this is really important. If anything gets to be sent to you, it's an attachment or zipped with the password protection, please look at the email again very carefully. Make sure you question the person, ask questions, send an email back, call the person if you have to, and make sure that you're actually getting the right detail. If you have, I use ad blockers, AdBlock Plus, which blocks all the crazy pop-ups that keep on coming to me. Unless it's a website like, say, times.com or some websites which are legitimate that I want to read the content, but it has to do with ads, then I can allow it to go through. Reduce the digital footprint. Anything that is personal and details about you should do not share online. And please back up things to the cloud. I cannot stress enough on this. Map out your Hotmail account or Gmail on your Drive, on your Windows or Mac, and just back everything up there. The reason is because ransomware is becoming so easily targeted to people. When it gets to get to your computer, you're not going to recover your files back. There's a very high chance you cannot get them back. So please put them on your cloud so that it's easily recoverable. And also, if you have to lose your laptop today, water spilling, or somebody stole your laptop, you should basically be able to get back to work in the next 5, 10 minutes. This same goes to not just individuals but businesses. We need to. I can't stress enough on this. We need to be able to move to the into to cloud systems and host our files. The Office 365, Google Cloud, they're all there. Then we basically have anti-malware solutions and two-step verification, as I mentioned. We need to make sure we activate them easily. I've put together this OSINT 101. These are basically easily way to be able to search for files. And then people always ask for this. And some of the places that you can use to do basic searches about yourself, details about you. Things like Twitter Beaver has so many links there for you to be able to see what can you get from Twitter accounts. How do you call it? Spokio. Go put your name on Spokio, your email address. Even without the paid version, you can find out how old you are or what details are about you that are out there. You can find out details about people just by putting their email there. Things like Zoom Eye, Tin Eye, for example. Take a picture of yourself on Tin Eye. It will tell you places where you have actually your picture is leaked, or your picture is being used on a particular website, and then your name is there or not. I usually use that to profile people to see if they're real, in documents they send or online. There's a lot of people who are on LinkedIn who are fake. So they have fake profiles, fake recruiter profiles, or fake profiles of companies. So I usually use things like TNI to just find out details about them. Google Hacking Database has way more of this kind of commands that you can type. Um, so make use of these links. They're all free. Some of them are paid, but majority of them are just open source intelligence. We have to start changing our mindset to assume that we actually have been compromised already. So the best way to, how do you raise the attacker's cost, or how do you make sure you have a rapid response and recovery process? We need to start moving to the cloud and have basic hygiene. Identify the well-known risk in your organization or around yourself, and you can steadily burn down that list. If the most important thing in the organization is a database or a document or something like that, and that is asset of greatest risk, make sure that protection around that is heightened so that you have that list that you can burn down. If you don't think you need to protect the server room, then you can put that as the last thing. If you don't think the person who's the front desk lady or guy or man is the one to be least protected, then fine, that can be put down in the middle or something like that. But you need to write down assets of greatest risk, identify those well-known risks, and burn down that list very easily. So some of the key measures of success is the cost of the attack and what is the mean time to remediation for you to be able to get back up and running should a cyber attack actually happen. We have designed systems to never fail. We have to design that they can recover. We can recover quickly. We can't prevent every single possible attack. We have to assume we've already been compromised so that we know how to respond along those attack phases. These are just some of the key questions that I want you to ask yourself, or even your organization, the senior management or IT team or security team. What assets of greatest risk? Do you fully understand your vulnerabilities? Do your supply chain partners put you at risk? I compromised a hotel some time back because I went in there as a normal person to sleep in the hotel. Connected to the network. The IT manager knew I was coming, so he blocked everything. So I connected to the TV port because the TV always says, "Hi, welcome, Dr. Bright." So I'm like, this has to be on a network somewhere because this is not manual, right? Connected to the TV, connect and scanned the entire network. And because of a printer that was vulnerable and I compromised the printer, I got access to the entire network. Got to know how easily it is that I knew people's payroll details. Um, got access to the entire, how do you call it, hotel, all the way to the headquarters, which was outside of Africa. So a simple thing like that can be the way to actually get to compromise your network, and we need to be very careful and see how we can protect them. So, just some basic questions to ask your teams and your organizations. I'll put a few links here of tools you can use. So do go through them. They're safe. Don't worry. That you can use to be able to secure yourself. I think with that, I will stop there so that we can have some time for questions, a Q&A. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bright. That was really insightful. And I also think it's really important for us to be aware and also, like you mentioned, be proactive and act like we have actually been compromised.
Yes.
Um, yeah, so I don't see any questions for the moment, but I just wanted to maybe just reflect with my own thoughts from what I learned in the session.
Yes.
It's just really important for us to be like with the passwords. Like you were saying, a lot of people use the same passwords for up to 20 or 30 accounts.
Yes.
Um, in your opinion, how would you change people's mindsets around having stronger passwords instead of them only changing it when they've been compromised or attacked?
Yeah, so I basically like to have different password phrases for different category of things. So I have passwords when it comes to things to do with shopping and online banking. I have password when it comes to, I mean, for e-commerce. For banking, I have password phrases. So the phrases meaning the phrase could be similar and a few numbers that I can remember, but
Mm-hmm.
they're all different at the end of the day. So for example, if a password is Digital Threats Workshop 2022, and I know there's another session that's going to come, digital threats landscape or digital threats session. You see, it's similar, but it's not the same. Then you can put
Yes.
numbers to differentiate that before you add characters or even anything else. So I like to categorize them that way. I have 100 and almost 180 portals that I had logged in back in the day and now, and I still keep those passwords. There's no human being that can possibly remember all of those. Okay, well, there's some superstars out there, but we need to be realistic. So yeah, that's basically what I see to be.
As an approach, yeah. And also like the way you mentioned having a space bar with the phrases, because
Yes.
that's
People,
I
yes,
wouldn't have thought.
a phrase can bring a big difference, a really huge
Mm,
difference when it comes to passwords and the strength.
yeah. And then in terms of like the number of attacks, would you say that if you could, do you know offhand about South Africa's the risk level in terms of people in South Africa? Are we more of a target than other places in Africa or in the rest of the world?
So I don't know much about the risk level for South Africa, but when looking at assets, South Africa has quite a lot of assets that are very very vulnerable. Just what I showed you, how to call it, the one I showed you just recently, right now, being able to get into servers and everything. These are a lot of systems that are publicly available. And a lot of systems are getting compromised. A lot of things, mainly not just phishing attacks, but things to do with APIs like security.
Mm,
Because we have APIs that are connecting one system to the other, either bank, in the financial services or networks, I mean, applications that are connecting to other third party services to work. And those APIs, when not done properly, are easily compromised. And I've been seeing that quite a lot in the whole Africa space.
yeah. Is that the same for like government departments? Because I've heard
Yes.
That's
Our
also
governments
happening
are even
with SMS and Home
governments
Affairs.
governments are a bigger hit because right now they are a bit more targeted. I think in the past I've seen a few news here and there about South Africa where the government systems have been compromised so easily, and that's just because I'm not saying that it's bad.
Mm.
It is a fact that there are too many systems, and I think until we do a better risk assessment and know where to know which areas to focus on, the threats are always going to be there. Somebody's going to spin up a system somewhere, but it has to be standards that people have to follow to make sure they're always bringing the right details of systems out there. So it will take some time, but all is not lost. A lot is being done, and the industry is still growing. So
Mm.
yeah.
Okay. Thanks for that answer. We have one question that I just noticed now. It is around what is a free way to do a check on yourself without needing a credit card?
Yeah, to check on yourself is basically all the open source tools that I have listed there. Use them, put your names, put your details there. Majority of them are free. If there's anything that needs you to pay, you can basically see some of the details out there, and allowing you to just check your basic hygiene, you know, checking have I been pwned, checking what is your information when it comes to Twitter, what level of exposure do you have out there. You can just use the open source tool. So I'll share the presentation with you, and you can basically share it with the attendees as well.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'll be sending the presentation after this session. They should be available on the AirMeet platform also afterwards. Um, and then I have one more just a reflection also about the steps. What remedial steps can take place after certain information has been compromised? For example, your ID number or your email address.
yeah,
Is that the only way? Is the only remedial step to change your password? But if someone has access to your ID number and then can do other things, what
great.
certain steps do you take?
So if you feel you have been compromised in one way or the other, your password or your account is leaking out there, I say change your password details and the likes. But the most common kind of hacks that are happening these days, I'll give a typical example. Those that you'll see people in your Instagram account sending you crypto challenges and telling you, we have a crypto. You can't believe I've won or made triple the price
Mhm,
and the amount that
mhm.
I've invested in this crypto. Click on this link for you to see it. And hackers are becoming so good that when they compromise you, Yasmin, your Instagram account, they even take your picture and do a deep fake showing a video of you saying the same thing. It looks so real you can't tell the difference. Yet you did not do that video. You do not a picture, you can tell, there's something wrong, but a video is too
Yes.
believable. So they actually make a video with your picture, make you look like you're speaking, make you look like you're actually saying you won an amount of money on crypto. It's a very, very good deepfake. If you feel you've clicked on a link like that, your account has been taken or has been compromised, you have to make sure you first of all get off the internet and clear your browser cache and cookies. I'll repeat that.
Okay.
You get on the internet, clear your browser cache and cookies. And this could be on your mobile
Is that the
phone.
same on a mobile phone also?
Yeah, by mobile phone or laptop. Because on the mobile phone, when you click on that, it will use the Safari browser if it's an iPhone or Chrome browser when it's an Android to basically open that. But you
Can
just
I
make sure.
ask you if some people don't know how to do that? Could you
Um,
explain how to do that on an Android phone or Apple,
Yeah,
or
I
is
mean,
it?
a basic Google will be able to bring that up, but it's in the settings. So if you open an Android Chrome browser, you just basically go to the settings and just remove and just clear cache and cookies, or
Okay.
you can actually go to the settings for Android and you just look on apps, look for Chrome, and then it shows you the place to actually clear cache. But the easiest way that I find these days for example, Android is to basically install Windows Defender. So Windows Defender has one for mobile. Android for now, iOS I haven't seen any yet. and it basically has it stop pop-ups, it stops malwares that are trying to come to my phone, even from WhatsApp when I accidentally click on a link. It's pretty good. Let me just say that it's really good.
Okay, I'll just put it in the chat if anybody didn't hear you. Okay, thanks. I don't see any other questions.
Yeah.
Um, is there? Can we ask maybe what do you do with your company at Africa Hackon? What is that about? If maybe you can just give a background
Yeah.
and intro.
So Africa Hackon has been running for the past 9 years right now. It's a non-profit. We don't make any money. We basically like to see how can we create a ripple effect in the industry by creating or by nurturing the next best talent. So we've gone to schools, we've gone to universities, we basically teach people exactly how to get into cybersecurity, not to become bad people, but to be able to basically become cyber ninjas. We organize capture the flag challenges. We have webinars that are going on every other day, just to get people to become cybersecurity engineers. And yeah, so that basically led to many other groups to come up, which we keep on supporting, younger groups where they focus on specific areas of cybersecurity, and they do webinars and we do hackathons. Every month we do a meetup where we discuss cybersecurity issues, and for SMEs, for startups, for big corporates as well. So yeah, that's basically what we do. Just evangelizing cybersecurity, but teaching people with live demonstration. What I did right now is very basic, really, really basic compared to what other people usually show. Yeah, so that's basically what Africa Hackon
Thanks.
does.
Yes, that's very interesting, and I'm keen to learn more. And I'm
Yeah,
sure I can um, um, put your website in the chat. If if you want to, you can do that. I can do it.
yeah.
Is there anything else you would like to maybe talk about? We
Nothing
do.
else for now. Mainly just to say thank you for giving me this opportunity, and I hope we can engage further in future sessions. And please reach out to me via LinkedIn. LinkedIn is usually the easiest way. Instagram, you'll find me quite there available, and ask questions. I'm always ready to help to change anybody's way of life when it comes to cybersecurity. Yeah, but so thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bright. It was such a privilege to listen and learn from you.
Yeah.
And I just want to say thanks to the CTIN and JamLab Africa. And we also have some exciting sessions coming up in the next 2 days. So our virtual program is running from the 17th to the 19th. And I'll just give you some. Tomorrow we have sessions throughout the whole day. And then we also have in-person event that's happening in Johannesburg. If anybody is interested and who is in South Africa, that will happen next week. Um, so thank you so much for your presentation, and I'll just be closing the session now
Thank
with
you.
the live performance. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.